Oh shit! Oh, I'm not. I was so not ready for this.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
Well, we're off!
Oh my.
And we are doing today, I was very loud, we are doing today top 10 Disneyland rides. Also, just a disclaimer, this is also going to include California Adventures as well, which we've already discussed. Don't act like you didn't know.
That's what we're doing.
Literally talked to you ahead of time about this. So, I'm excited.
Also, all of us have testing.
Testy boys.
None of us have
Big
back
testes.
COVID.
Big testing boys here.
Big testes
Hashtag
boys.
big testing boys.
Okay,
What a
let's,
meeting
we're
is
gonna
what
start. We're gonna start off with the bottom three:
The bottom three.
10, 9, and 8.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
so suddenly. I don't know if I was ready for this.
Oh yeah,
We're doing the top.
we're doing the top.
Best. I just
Get
didn't
him,
remember
get him,
doing
get him,
the
Jordan.
worst. I just didn't.
I almost
We've
got.
revealed that we are.
Oh
very
no! I'm 21. I promise.
Debatable.
Yeah, beards grow early nowadays. Here we go. We ready?
My brother could grow a beard at like 12 though, so like.
Here we go.
Anyway.
3, 2, 1, go.
Hey.
What do we got? Star Tours,
Yep.
Matterhorn, and Peter Pan.
That's right.
Star Tours is on
Winnie
Winnie
the
the
Pooh.
Pooh. Star
Holy
Tours.
shit.
Jungle Cruise.
I'm surprised that Star Tours made all of our lists because generally Star Tours is a ride that people really either absolutely hate or really quite
I
enjoy.
thought Star Tours was great. That's actually the first ride I ever rode on where it is your...
Mm-hmm.
Like-
motion
Like
simulator.
simulated,
Yeah.
yeah.
Actually,
sure.
sorry, take that back. That was actually...
Well, that.
The first ride I rode it...
Disneyland.
So Star Tours is
Good
on
thing you're
everyone's...
editing
Okay.
this.
Yeah,
and,
no,
and all
no,
around
I'm
the
gonna keep
same.
that in. That's
you know.
gonna stay in. No, because my first official motion like
Oh,
that
actually-
was the Terminator ride, which was
love
kind of dope.
Terminator.
Very mass produced. You're in the ride
Yeah.
going. But Star Tours, I actually think was my...
Wait, I've done the Terminator show at Universal,
Yeah.
or like Orlando, but that's not. Is it a ride element?
No,
to it?
it used to be.
Oh,
It was.
okay.
It used to be, and it's a huge theater, and really you're just in a kind of like the.
This is
I don't even know why
what
we're talking
we're
about.
not. This isn't Universal.
Yeah, this is
Disney.
literally
But
Disney.
we
So
clearly-
I
Star
wasn't
Tours,
talking about.
So minus all of the new Star Wars rides at Disney, when Space Mountain became Hyper Space Mountain, I still said Star Tours is the greatest Star Wars ride
But
that
yeah,
you
I
can be a
agree.
part of it. So for
'Cause-
me, Star Tours has to be it.
I agree with that because like yeah, Hyperspace Mountain's great, but
Yeah.
really it's just a whatever.
I'll go first. I'm kidding.
We were.
By all means.
We were already
No,
talking.
please
I'm
go.
kidding.
Go on.
No, I was kidding, but I will go now. Let's see what I just. The Winnie the Pooh.
You have to look at it. I put
The Winnie the Pooh ride is so much fun. The Heffalumps and Woozles part just does it for me.
That was my argument for number 10, actually. That was almost about to be my number 10. I will say, the first time I rode Mickey's runway train.
Yeah, we talk about the same thing.
No, it's
Hey, how you doing? Just so we can understand a little bit of this confusion, the ride I'm actually talking about is Roger Rabbit's cartoon Spin. Yeah. But when filming this, I actually just saw a trailer for Mickey Mouse's Runaway Railway, so in my mind, I confused the two. So yeah, so we're gonna get back to the filming. I just wanted to clear the air on that. So now that we've done that, you guys can just go right on back. If you're liking it, just hit the like button, subscribe, do the you know what to do. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
So this is why I'm confused. I've only ridden this ride one time, and I also rode it for the first time ever last year. Blew my mind.
I don't know if
Did we get on it? Did I force you guys to get on it?
You might have.
That sounds like
You
something
on-
I
Wait,
Well, because-
wait, what are we talking about?
Okay,
right
there's
now?
a ride in Toontown. So it's
Yeah,
like
I've ever
it's the
read that.
same type of ride as Winnie the Pooh, Little Mermaid.
Dark ride.
Yeah,
It's a
thank
dark
you.
ride. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the term. I knew that. I definitely knew that was the term.
It's
It's the most like classic cartoony feel you can get.
I don't
And
know
for
if
me,
I've
I
ridden it.
love
I'm sure I have. I'm sure at
So
some point
good.
I have. I was probably very drunk.
But we all agree on Star Tours being at the bottom.
yeah.
We love it. A
I
fantastic.
love Star
But definitely not at the top.
I will say I disagree so far. Why is Peter Pan?
So I wanted to give an homage to one of the dark rides because I didn't put any of the other dark rides on my list. I'll spoiler alert.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
Peter Pan I think is a great ingenious, like really great, like the fact that like the track's on the roof and it feels like as though you're flying through
True.
like London. I think
Yeah.
it's just such a unique dark ride. And so
Okay.
to me it was like the one that I wanted to put in as like my favorite of all of them culminating. So that's kind of yeah.
Jungle Cruise was not on my list.
Jungle Cruise is like 11 or 12 for me. Like,
it was close.
It was
I feel like I'm one of the only people, and maybe not hearing your guys' listing. I laugh every time I'm on Jungle Cruise.
Oh yeah,
I cry.
The guys that do Jungle Cruise are true. Like their comedic timing is most of the time. I had been on it like once or twice.
For me, Jungle Cruise, and maybe it's every person does this. Every single time I used to go to Disneyland when I was younger, it would be the first ride we would hit up.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like. Since it was the first ride, it was always a guaranteed ride I'd go on.
Gotcha.
Because then my dad would be like, I'm tired, let's walk over here, and I'll be like, you know.
I think this is important to know because you brought something up that you like. I'm assuming you went to Disneyland quite a bit, like growing up, right? Yeah. What about you? Like,
first time I went to Disneyland, 16 years old.
So for me, I went once to Disneyland, just the Disneyland portion, never California Adventure, at like I want to say like 10 or so, right? One time, once. And then I didn't go again until I moved to Los Angeles at like whatever that was, 22, 23 or something like that. And so I didn't really
Disclaimer,
become a Disney
he's 22,
aficionado.
23.
Not anymore. That was 6 years ago.
It was for the bit.
It
was for the bit.
We
understood that.
I missed the bit.
We understood that. We literally understood that.
They're not.
Did you guys understand that?
Well, say yes. Little homage to Dora the Explorer.
Where's Jordan?
Is he over the mountain?
Where's the bit?
Where's the wine we're hiding?
Okay, so
click on the wine.
But I do think it's important to note, like, because I don't have like nostalgia for a lot of the rides, because we only had one day, right, to do
sense,
like, and we did a lot. Okay. And there is like my number one is like a nostalgia ride through and through.
Fun fact: Space Mountain is my number 9, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh shit, I didn't even notice.
Yeah, Space Mountain is my number 9, and here's why. I feel like the rides that really appeal to me, Space Mountain is a spectacular ride.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the rides that are above Space Mountain to me, even Star Tours, I feel like they add more of an effect. For me, when I rode Space Mountain, I said, dude, this is the greatest thing ever. But then when you look at it in hindsight, you're in a dark roller coaster and you're only seeing stars.
Oh yeah, but
and
it's
for me,
also,
I was like,
but that's what I love about it. Is so ingenious because if you look at the tracks when the lights are on, it's absolutely insane how close you are to all of the other tracks. And like this ride, like looking at it without it being pitch black, is a little terrifying.
So first time I rode Space Mountain, quick story. Again, first time I go to the park, 16. I actually teared up riding Space Mountain, not of fear, because I felt when I was riding the ride. Obviously, I'm not the tall. I feel like I'm average height kind of for a guy. I'm like 6 feet, right? I was so afraid because everyone in front of me and behind me was shorter. And I was like, they're like lifting their hands up and stuff. And I'm like, I can't see anything. I think my hands are
literally, like that's terrifying. You're
I'm like,
woo! You're right.
It was just going to be over. So I got, dude, I teared up. I said, I don't know how to enjoy this ride. And then, yeah, dude, I literally sat there and I went like this at first. And then I just dropped them and I sat like, I wasn't shaking, but I was like fearful. And then once the ride was over, I forgot who I was with specifically, but I told them and they were like, dude, we've seen it with the lights on. Like, you have enough reach to lift your hands.
It's still pretty crazy.
It's very, so I'm just like,
still,
no.
Yeah, no, I get it.
All right.
Man. Wait, real quick though, just with Space Mountain, does it change at all with like Hyperspace Mountain or because they've got, what is the other one? Oh god, why I can't think of it. It's
the horror one,
Halloween
the Halloween one.
Yeah,
the Halloween one, I don't like as much just
Ghost Galaxy?
I don't like the
My little brother actually, I took my little brother for his birthday. We're going to hit up Space Mountain first because fuck that waiting later in line. Or for the Fast Pass when they're out like at 11 a.m. But he got so scared on that ride.
Really?
He was traumatized. But then the rest of the day, all the rides were like less intense.
Yeah.
So he was able to enjoy them. But I was just like he was fearful, like holding on rigid.
It's amazing what people find like what their version of scary is. Those rides. It's like a ride that's traumatizing to one kid. Yeah, exactly. Like. It's just a throw. Like, there's nothing scary.
They were literally just like, let's make it horror. Give me a face. Put your face and make it blurry, and then have it follow.
I did think the Star Wars skin was a good little like mini thing for it with all like blasters shooting around. It was fun.
All right, we're ready for 7 and 6. Space Mountain. I like Hyperspace Mountain more than Space Mountain. But I put Space just for because
we're talking about like just I get it.
I do have a banger in here for number 6.
We're doing 6 and 7.
6 and 7. Here we go. Are we ready, guys? Everybody good?
Let's do it.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, what do we got? We got
Tower of Terror,
Haunted Mansion, and Big Thunder. We got Tower of Terror, Haunted Mansion. So, fun fact for mine.
Mermaid.
'Cause I have Little Mermaid and Nightmare Before Christ because I felt like I couldn't fit Must. I don't like Haunted Mansion that much.
Interesting.
I love Nightmare Before Christmas. So because of it, I felt like let me go a little bit on the thin line, and let me put Nightmare Before Christmas.
Don't get me wrong, I love me some Nightmare Before Christmas. Like that film, number one is like, and I love the transition. I love the seasonal transition.
For Christmas,
right?
You gotta show it.
Yeah, I mean,
this is my first tattoo ever.
I'm feel the book. It's a Nightmare Before Christmas. Just in case
probably
you couldn't see it. It probably did.
It's Jackson, and it's super elaborate and pretty.
Timon and Pumbaa.
Yeah, and
show yours.
I've got mine as well.
Okay, we're good. We got it.
No, sorry.
It's a real tattoo.
It is true. It exists.
So why Haunted Mansion, and then just because I have Nightmare Before Christmas.
Put Haunted Mansion as well. Oh, wow, that's dope.
And then mine halfway.
Interesting. I mean, you still match with that.
Can I tell you why Haunted Mansion? I don't fully like it that much, but I love Nightmare Before Christmas. It's I saw the movie before I ever rode the ride.
Yeah, me too.
So for me, going on the ride after watching the movie, my first time going on the ride, I said, "Where the hell is Eddie Murphy? Where the hell he at? He needs to be on this ride."
Oh,
Eddie?
sorry. I'm sorry. You're talking about the Haunted Mansion film with Eddie. I mean, I guess I decorated it too, but like also like really,
I saw that movie first.
Oh
no! When I rode the ride, I was like, I feel like they're trying to. But where's the butler? So for me, I felt like if I would have saw it backwards, I think I would have appreciated it.
I mean, Haunted Mansion is definitely one of those like nostalgia rides for sure. But I've been around so many nostalgia people that love it and like adore it that like it. It's
Haunted Mansion is like my aesthetic, and then when they do it for Nightmare Before Christmas,
I love it. I'm all about it.
Best part is one of my favorite, and it's literally top 3 best parts of Haunted Mansion / Nightmare Before Christmas. The end, when you find out what weary pickup traveler ghost. What's the term of it? The hitchhiker ghost. Which hitchhiker ghost is going to be in your car? I love that part.
Oh, yeah, I love that too.
And you're putting Nightmare as well.
I should do it.
So, the Little Mermaid ride.
Yeah, okay.
It's California Adventure.
Little Mermaid almost, and we'll talk about this when we get to that video. Little Mermaid almost made my like least favorite ride list.
Dude, let me tell you something. And this is the first time I went to Disney. I was 16, right? We go to California Adventure, and I just remember one of the kids was like, "Let's do Little Mermaid," and I was the guy that was like, "All right." Damn. And when you go backwards, when we went in there, I went, "Oh, we went under the sea! Oh my gosh, we're under the sea!" And dude,
how can I breathe?
Dude, I was so invested by just that little creativity. I literally was like, "Oh!"
I love how excited you are.
Yeah. I'm the quiet person that when I go in a group, I'm just like, "Hey, who wants to do Little Mermaid?" What'd you say? You want to do it? Because I don't. But if you're saying it,
I mean, I guess so. I mean, if we have to,
here's the thing:
that ride. Don't get me wrong. It is definitely in my like top 10 like least favorite rides for sure.
I mean, to be fair, the animation.
No, but every time I go to Disneyland, number one, I ride that ride because there's always a 5-minute wait. It's never more than 5 minutes.
And
it's also
right
by air conditioning. It's right by the Lamplight Lounge Cove Bar.
Yeah.
And so I have a couple drinks in me, and it's like, well, 5 minutes, might as well go under the sea. So
that's my 2 lists. Big Thunder.
Big Thunder boys.
Yeah.
Another one.
I love a fun
Big Thunder didn't make my
roller
list.
coaster.
It did not.
I understand why. I can get it. I can understand why. But I just love a themed roller coaster.
The fly just flew right by. It was one of those light ones, the ones that love light.
Oh my God, it's Mike Pence.
Big. The Mike Pence fly.
It's gonna land on you, and I'll be like, "Well, you choose Little Mermaid."
So Big Thunder. Last thing you said was, "Let's rewind." Big Thunder didn't really make my list, actually. You said I can understand why.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what I was gonna.
You said you.
I mean, I understand why.
Why did it make your list?
Well, because I love a themed roller coaster.
Yeah.
I do. I just love like, and it's not a particular. I mean, it's thrilling. It's a roller coaster, but it's like what I love about Disneyland roller coasters in general is the theming behind them. I love Disneyland rides for that reason, and so this is a perfect balance to me of a little bit of thrill and a little bit of theming. And I think I love going up into the mountain with like all the little things about to explode. And it's just,
the waterfall.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy, better known as Tower of Terror. No. That's for the people that never got to ride Tower of Terror. That's for the people that didn't get to ride.
You're garbage.
And it also
or they were born late.
Also means that number 6 is also Guardians because it has to be. 6 has to be
tied.
Guardians as well.
Got to be tied.
May I?
Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
So, I was gonna put Tower of Terror as my number one because Tower of Terror will forever be that and just one of my favorite rides ever. Stop getting closer, and then they change it to Guardians, unfortunately, and I am one of those.
Is the room actually stretching? Oh, that really got him. I guess he does love Tower of Terror.
Anyway, that was from Haunted Mansion.
It was on a mansion.
Well, oh my god.
Okay, sorry. Still,
To be fair, Nightmare Before Christmas I put on there. Nightmare would have went higher. Yeah, but so I think
I'm gonna finish.
Go for it.
But I went on it last year for my birthday, and I still enjoy the actual because I love free fall rides. They're my favorite kind of rides. So I left Guardians, but I don't care for Guardians. I'm so sorry, really sorry.
Why don't you tell him why?
I'm not a big. Haven't seen a lot of the Marvel movies.
Just say you haven't seen Guardians. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say.
Okay.
But it's on my queue. And
No, it's not okay because he said it's not my. I'm not really for it, and it's like, well, if you haven't seen the movie,
but I don't think that
Sorry.
ride you
I'm
have
so
to.
sorry.
And I am a big Guardians of the Galaxy fan, both ride and movie. But I don't think you have to enjoy the movies to enjoy that ride. Number one, in terms of thrill rides, you said you like free fall, and it is actually more thrilling than Tower of Terror. They made you feel like you were going down faster. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they added.
I already have a contradicting point to what you said, and you will find out later in my list.
Okay, I can't wait.
I do think you have to. I think when you enjoy the movie, I think it heightens the ride aggressively.
So, like I was saying,
I do think it heightens the ride, but I still think you enjoy it. Oh, sorry.
We just Kanye West. I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Oh, Beyonce in the okay.
Go on.
I still put it on my list because half of it is because I can still go on the ride and enjoy it. It's still a very thrilling ride. And I still feel that nostalgia from the Tower of Terror. But also Tower of Terror, even if you would have told me, no, it's only Guardians of the Galaxy, I would have still put it because I still want to be able to go on Guardians of the Galaxy and feel like I'm on Tower of Terror. If
And
that makes any fucking sense.
I get it. Does. I do miss the bellhops. I do miss the quirky thing.
I miss the actual fucking ride.
Yeah.
Also, the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone is one of my favorite TV shows ever. So
that's true.
yeah, I used to be that guy who would be in the pre.
That was it. That wasn't me this time.
I was that guy who was in the pre-show, like under my breath, saying the whole like Twilight Zone like script that they show on the screen. I was never that person who would be like, nah, I know the whole thing. No, I wasn't that guy, but I would be that guy who would be like, Rod Sterling.
Have you experienced that guy before?
No.
Yeah, they're annoying. I'd be like,
okay. Because our stories are long,
we're talking.
We're gonna do numbers 5 and 4.
Oh, but that's so.
We're gonna go slow 3, 2, or you know what? Fine. Yeah, we'll do 5. Let's just do number 5.
You can edit this, right?
We're
You
gonna
can edit all the boring parts out.
It'll just be a 5-minute video and then cutting out 50 minutes of stories. Okay, here we go.
Something here is interesting.
My number 5 is a very specific. You would have had to have tried it to know.
Math.
Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right. We've got that one, and then we've got Radiator Springs Racer.
Yay!
I'm assuming that is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My handwriting's getting worse as
I was thinking the same thing.
So I will go mine first. If you haven't done Rise of the Resistance,
I'm surprised it's
technically speaking, Rise of the Resistance, in my opinion, is the greatest ride I think I've ever ridden in my entire life. And that is purely because you have to be a fan of Star Wars to understand that, like, hey, the only reason why it's not my number 1 is because it is brand new. If it wasn't for the fact that it's brand new and I haven't already established love for my rest of the top 5,
fair. The nostalgia aspect is currently still missing.
It would be number 1 other than that.
I get that.
So if you haven't ridden it, that's it. We got
disclosure,
Guardians.
I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge since it's open.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know.
I've been in it. I just haven't been on any of the rides.
The lines were long. When we went for his birthday, that was around like the opening of it, so it was like it was a lot.
Yeah.
And I was very drunk.
Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah. Tower of Terror, also absolutely one of my absolute favorite rides of all time, and I have a huge nostalgia for that. And I also have a huge nostalgia. I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's a fun ride.
Great ride.
What I talked about earlier, it is more thrilling. I love the change of music because obviously, like every different time you get on there, there's different music, Victor. And as somebody who you like music, right?
I love music.
Interesting.
Called out. Guardians or Tower? Did not make my list, by the way.
Really? At
Yeah,
all?
not at all.
Shocking.
So Radiator Springs, number 5.
I
I
love
love
Is that the touch?
that ride. When I went on, I was like, "This is one of the."
He's
funnest
Radiator,
rides
but that's not the name. Radiator Springs is just the name of the land, right?
Radiator Springs Racers.
Racers.
I
Yeah.
couldn't
It's-
fit
you
racers in there. I
You
didn't
should
wanna
have just
do
put race.
Yeah.
Radiator Springs Race.
Yep.
What race?
To be fair, the name that I just call it Cars. I just call it the Cars ride. So
I want it
like,
to be just
I'm
a
not one to
tad
talk.
more professional.
I would have wrote it just to save more space on the board. Like I wouldn't have wrote Guardians of the I would have wrote
I
Guardians.
honestly, I started writing.
Guardians / Tower.
In all
Joji.
honesty, I said Guardians, and then I like started writing and I was like, fuck, now I have to keep going. Oh, sorry.
He cusses all the time. He literally makes it
No,
a
I
point.
fucking
You
don't.
say
Okay.
that.
So Radiator Springs.
Amazing
I
ride.
love that ride. So
Me
fucking
too.
good.
That
Holy
was-
shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4 because I was waiting for like a long story.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
love
just-
that ride. Just great. I
there's-
was like, all
Doing
right.
it all the time.
Number 4, we are going back to California Adventures. That was a lot.
Well, you can go there. I'm staying in Disney.
Okay.
Well, I guess I was just at California, so I'm going back to Disney.
Going
All right.
back to
All right, everybody good? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Okay, Big Thunder and then Space Mountain.
Hey.
Here's my question: does Space Mountain have to do? Because we kind of talked about it earlier with the nostalgia and the incredible, the indigenous and he used a lot of big I words.
Yeah.
Ingenious.
Ingenious.
Ingenious, I think is what it is.
The indigenous
The
warriors
warriors
that
of
really.
Space Mountain.
Yeah, but is that I'm assuming why it's higher?
Yeah, I love. It's funny. I generally like. I'll tell you. I'll say it right now. Incredicoaster did not make my list.
Yeah.
California Screaming, and it was the one that I was like really struggling with because I love that. But at the end of the day, there's just not enough theming to that roller coaster.
I have a good reason why it's my number
And
4.
totally,
I'm
yeah,
excited
yeah.
to tell you that one, but
but Space Mountain is the one exception because I don't think that there is a roller coaster like Space Mountain in any other theme park. Really.
okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
it is a truly. I mean, at least. I don't know. I just It just.
Big Thunder.
I love Big Thunder.
Hey.
I love when you're going up the hill and you're going through the waterfall. I love that second hill when you're going through the explosion. I love the one where you're going through the goat. I low-key
good.
think that ride is really thrilling. There's some points where you're like, oh shit!
Every time you go into the tunnel at that big curve, I always have to put my hands down. I'm
You
always
you
like, no.
I love that ride.
You
Every
really
time.
do.
I've done that right 1,000
I'm
times.
not drunk, late
Mhm.
20 person who's just like,
Yeah.
like having. the
I'm on
time
like
of
my
his
third
fucking
earthquake, like drink or
life.
whatever,
I'm
and
on
like
my
just.
1.5 Black Pearl.
I drink water.
Wow.
Incredicoaster. So check this out.
No one asks.
Why?
California Screamin'
Mm-hmm. I love.
was my first ever roller coaster that I rode and enjoyed.
Okay.
Yeah, first official roller coaster was what's the wooden one at Knott's?
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I love Ghost Rider.
Here's
But
the
it
thing.
takes you around.
That freaked me out because
It-
it was wooden. I was like, it's
it's
gonna
brutal.
break down.
Yeah.
It's gonna break. Somebody
Yeah.
tighten the screws.
It's funny. It's one of my first roller coasters was Texas Giant in Texas, Dallas, where I'm from, and it's the same. It's basically the same thing as Ghost Rider. It's an old wooden roller coaster at Six Flags, and it's
Yeah.
like
So
Wooden coasters are another.
But I
monster.
love-
So with California Screamin', if we did a top 20 rides of Disney and California Adventure, California Screamin' would probably come in at my number 15. Incredicoaster, when they switched the theming to the Incredibles, I think they found something for me that, in my personal opinion, is one of the best adapted movie themed roller coasters ever.
fair.
The Incredicoaster, like, going because you're chasing Jack, and you're watching all the Incredibles do their powers.
Yeah.
During the ride, you hear the volumes and everything. It just has way more. Like, it starts off with Dash, like, all right, here we go, and I'm just like, whoa. When you go into the tunnels, you're watching Violet do her powers. You see, I almost said Sue Storm. You're watching Mrs. Incredible because I was thinking Mr. Fantastic.
Sure.
So you're watching Miss Incredible stretch, and you see it's just like, dude, that's so dope.
I think this is one of the cases of like I've seen the first Incredibles. I don't think I've seen the second one. and I just don't really care for them. Do you know what I mean? I don't hate them. I'm not against them.
The first one is all you need to care about them.
I'm not against them, but I just like
the first one is all you need to care about them.
I'm sure it's great. And I've seen it once, and I just like.
No, but that's all you need to care about. The Incredibles. If you look at the top best Pixar movies, Incredibles is in the top 5.
That's what they tell me, but I just don't know if I believe. It's just not my top 5.
Well, just because you haven't seen it since you were 8 doesn't mean anything. Let's do number 3. Because I feel personally attacked.
Are we on number 3?
I think my 3-year-old opinion is very valid. Thank you very much.
I am going to, kind of spoiling it a little bit, I'm going to take what one person put and shorten it to what another person suggested.
Oh, I looked at it.
He's the only one who's consistently looked at it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can go.
But I forget by the time I look away.
3, 2, 1, go. Yeah. Let me just start since we've already kind of...
And the Temple of Doom.
Wow. Good for you. You really did. So we'll do ours quick just because.
Yeah, Cars Ride.
So I'll say this much. I actually don't think
I call it Radiator Springs Racers.
This is what we're talking. The Radiator Springs Racers. I felt for the movie Cars. I thought Cars was a good movie. I was just like, I don't care that much about it. But when the ride came out,
ride is
I was
incredible.
like, whoa!
And just in general, the land,
The
like just
whole
Radiator
land.
Springs in general is so well done. I could not care at all about the movies, but that one, and that ride,
you're going through it.
Really,
when you go around and you see the whole mountain reveal,
when the song comes on, it's like, oh,
you don't even have and you don't even have to be on the ride though, because if you walk back between go through the back way and it looks legitimately that is the perfect combination of theme roller coaster.
When Mater first comes out and you're like, it's talking to me.
It's so good.
So Indiana Jones, which is your number 2.5.
2.5,
based on where you wrote it.
Very nice.
In the middle of 2 and 3.
I love Indiana Jones.
It's fantastic.
That ride is just one of the greatest rides ever in the fucking
truly.
From walking through the queue and being able to move the rope and the bamboo and to getting on that ride and you always go, I hope I get to drive today.
Yeah.
And then one day you do and you're just like, I have the power.
Well, see, I'm one of those, and I'm nice about it, but I'm one of those Disney guests that be like, hey, if it's possible, can we wait for the first row? Can we? And especially if I have a new guest with me, I always make sure that they get to sit in the driver's seat, because that being able to sit in the driver's seat for Indiana Jones for the first time riding that ride is truly the steering wheel doesn't even move, but it just
you do this.
Oh,
we're turning. This is the wheel.
Whoa.
We're turning.
Yeah, but also I love sitting on the far right side because that's where the snake lunges at you. I love that. But also the technology, the use of space, the way just everything. There's a hologram of a wall that used to scare the living shit out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was younger, it turned the corner and it was going straight for the holographic wall, and I went, my family in front of me is dead. Then I will die because we just went through this wall. And I remember every time doing this when I was younger.
Before we do number 2, I just want to point out, I never knew that was a holographic wall.
I'm still trying to remember which one we're talking about.
It's literally, there's a part where, because for me, it was so confusing because you go through this weird dead space kind of part.
Yeah, where it's just dark, pitch black.
We go through this thing and I was like, somebody messed up this animation and they never fixed it. Yeah. And he just said it's a holographic wall. And now I'm like, I guess that makes more sense. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense.
You're supposed to hit it. I might be wrong.
I guess I know what you're talking.
I just thought
it's in the middle of the ride.
I thought it was a light. Is this the picture? Cheese!
Turn on the lights.
Number 2, and my list is getting up high too. Let me. All right. Here we go. We're ready.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Peter Pan!
Peter Pan! Whoa!
I put and you put Pirates of the Caribbean ...
And Pirates. Yes.
You both put Pirates.
Peter Pan.
I'm not going to talk about Pirates because you're going to hear about Pirates in another list of mine. So let's go.
I will slap the living shit out of you.
Let's
They
go.
don't know what this means, but
yeah, they do, because I'm gonna put it in the link of what it's going to. Right, it's in the cards up here.
Right there. Right there.
It's right there.
Up there?
It's up there. Don't. Oh my god. Don't. Ew. I bet. Ew. Peter Pan. Same thing. I rode that ride for the first time 2 years ago, and when I rode that ride
on it,
huh? It was just me, not really. But dude, for that one, I remember sitting there because for me, the biggest thing that kept me from riding Peter Pan every time I went, and I was like, dude, I don't feel like waiting for no kids ride for no 45
and
minute ride.
It's always 45 minutes.
I don't know. You asked a cast member how long the line is, and they're like, bro, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
The best part is when you ask a cast member, like, hey, how long is the ride? And they go, the name of the ride. It's Peter Pan. It's literally only a 10-minute ride if you get in the park 3 seconds.
Yeah, like
when it opens.
You're the one that's like elbowing children in strollers to get to Peter Pan.
Literally,
that was one time.
So we made it to Pan.
When I wrote it, I just expected just the same thing like Winnie the Pooh and Alice in Wonderland. But when you lifted off the ground, I was like, this is kind of like, I actually felt like, because, spoiler, I like Peter Pan the movie, but Hook is what takes it.
Hook forever
Hook
and always.
Is the greatest.
Robin Williams, 100%.
You don't like Hook?
What? I didn't say that.
First of all, he said, oh, celebrity because the pirates thing, but it's Hook. It's Hook. It's very rarely that a live-action movie can beat an original animation or anything like that.
I agree with that. And
that's
do you
so
not
good.
like Hook?
I didn't say that.
What do you? What are your faces saying?
No, I
answer the question. Will you answer? Is this a presidential debate?
Are you
answer the question?
Answer the question already.
Answer the question.
Yeah.
Yes or no? 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 Would you talk? I just want to hear a yes, I like it, or no, I do not like it. I don't want to hear no maybe.
I am speaking. The taxpayers need
yes or no, Victor?
I love Peter Pan, the original movie.
Hook! Victor! We're asking about Hook!
It's fine.
What is wrong with you? Oh!
Why is Pirates of the Caribbean your second? Why is that your second favorite ride? Go for it. Answer the question.
Is that what I chose?
Yeah, it's what you chose, Victor.
I love that ride so much. From the beginning, from that little where you're floating by the bayou and you're just like
relaxing.
I love that part so much. And then when you start to hear him be like, "Dead man tell no tale,"
as somebody
and you just hear it echoing coming out.
As somebody who frequently drinks at Disneyland, I'm great at it. It is the perfect mid-afternoon.
It's the perfect take your beer with you.
Exactly.
Oh,
you sit on that ride and you just
chill. And
sit
it's air conditioned.
Because your feet are tired.
Yes.
And you sit back for 10, 15 minutes and you get to go on this amazing pirate adventure. And they've done a great job of bringing it into the 21st century progressively. And I just think it's...
I heard everything you guys said. I'm still mad about this Hook thing. I just want that to be
known. Oh, that's true.
And
I just bonded over you, but I'm still mad at you for Hook as well.
That's huge, dude.
Don't think I forgot.
That's actually like one of my all-time favorite Robin Williams movies.
Is just
all right. Number one.
Numero.
My gosh, I'm hurting. I'm gonna start the story now. First ride I ever rode where I said this is the greatest thing in the world, and to this day I've ridden on rides that I think are better, i.e. like Rise of the Resistance I think is the greatest, but this ride to this day, this is the only ride I go to Disneyland for, and when they say where does everyone on ride, I'm like, just give me this one ride and I'm good for the rest of the day. No, Victor, you cannot look at it first. Here we go, ready? 3, 2, 1. Indiana Jones! Yes! That is, which is when you said watching the movie, you don't have to watch it. Indiana Jones, because I know that's the. Can
I tell you? I've seen the films. I like the movies. They're fine. I don't have a huge love for the movies.
I love the movies.
I love
the ride,
this
dude.
Ride.
That ride. It's so. That's the only ride I go in every time. Every time he's dangling over the cart. I'm like, Indy!
Jump, come on, jump down! Indiana Jones!
Oh, there's a boulder! That's a nice boulder.
I have, so this is my nostalgia ride. This is, so this ride right here, when I went to Disneyland when I was like 10 or whatever, and I went with my mom and other family members, but I went with my mom, and we were the only ones that managed to basically stay through the park the entire day and like go to the very end. Like my dad was like in downtown Disney, like having a drink at whatever bar because he couldn't care after like 2, right? But me and my mom, and we had the fast passes, and at this time I was not a Disney aficionado, like, so these fast passes were this like unknown thing to me, but we called them multi passes from Fifth Element. I remember that, and so we were going through like the fast pass keyboard, multi-pass, as we were racing on through. Get on this ride. This is the end of the night, the last ride we ride, and this ride is incredible. But me being like the weird 10-year-old that I am, as I land, I'm driving, by the way. They get me into the steering wheel. This is my first time riding, 10 years old. I pull into the station, my hands are on the wheel, and I, being the joker that I am, literally pretend that I'm like frozen startled because of how intense it was. So I'm there just like, and one of the Disney team members comes up, our cast members, are you okay? Yeah, I'm great, that was amazing! And I just like jump off the ride, they're like, oh my god, and it's just like this ride, like, and it's just still when they had 3 rooms.
I will say, this is the quickest, just to add on that, since that thing, I'll tell you guys now, cover your ears a little bit. My favorite thing to do, and I do this every time I go in Indiana Jones, it's when you first turn that corner, and then the song goes,
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's the
time.
whole. That's what I was worried about your ears, but you guys knew.
Okay, because why wouldn't you do that?
Splash Mountain, which
Minus
Did it make my
racism.
list?
Minus
True.
racism. But honestly,
Yeah.
this is just me being honest. I don't like Splash Mountain that much, but it is the greatest, one of the best water rides.
Yeah. Since first time I went on it, and every time I go to Disneyland, it's a non-negotiable.
Really?
Nice.
It's so
I
interesting
went
because
from
it's just that most people don't have water rides as their non-negotiable.
True.
People
I
hate
don't.
water
I don't
rides.
care. That's just one of those like,
New
I don't
hair,
care.
dude. New all white outfit.
Sorry.
Victor's like, I'm still doing it.
I told you guys I have one non-negotiable. Last year we went for my birthday,
Yeah,
and I made one of our friends, Robert, sit in the front
love
because
that.
I wanted to sit in the back,
Oh.
and he was so angry.
I'm sure
because
he was,
got
and it's Robert, so
so
he's absolutely
fucking
just
angry.
like,
so
it's fine, it's fine,
Yeah.
it's fine.
He's like, I love you. It's your birthday.
it's fine.
And I'm over here like just dry ass fuck. She's like, thank you so much. But yeah,
Amazing.
But
Oh,
that ride, I mean,
It's a good ride.
everything about it, from like the drop in the dark, that you're just like,
Yes.
what the fuck, and the big leading up to the big drop, and then the singing, the dancing. Well, obviously, minus racism.
Yeah.
But
They're
I'm also
changing
very
True.
so stoked for them to change it to
The singing and the
It's
dancing
amazing.
is actually
Yeah.
why I don't like the ride. Because when I watched it as a kid, I was like, something feels a little off. I don't know what it is, but something feels off. I knew
Wait
that
just
as a
one.
16-year-old kid doing that ride for the first time and saying, I said, somebody is out here pulling tricks. Somebody's pulling tricks. And then the water drop went, and I went, oh, that was fun. But, I didn't forget about the... I was like, nah.
that ending was great, but it didn't make me forget.
But no, that's why I think
no.
that's why the ride is fantastic. With the change of the Princess and the Frog, that ride will probably be number 0 on the top 10. That's how good it's probably.
It is a well done ride as well. I mean,
Oh my
honestly,
gosh.
like we could do a whole nother video about the technology behind these
Yeah.
rides because, like, some of these rides are so like Disney.
I would honestly put Space Mountain at my number 1 for technical, just because like when the lights come on, you're like, they made this that magical.
And like how
It
much,
looks so
how much
trippy.
of a ride? I mean, that's a long roller coaster, and how much track they
Yeah.
put in a very anyway. Yeah, but like measuring.
So yeah, so in my opinion, this is the best list right
Well,
here,
I mean,
featuring Little Mermaid.
Is it an opinion or is it fact?
Yeah, facts.
Right.
Facts.
This one.
In my fact,
Right
this
there.
is my list.
No.
In their opinions, this is the list. With that being said, guys, we're gonna go eat food. Please subscribe, and then once again, if you want to click on one of these, let's push that on one of these buttons.
That one?
It'll tell you.
That one.
And if you want to see our list of
That
the
one?
top 5 worst Disney rides, on that one,
That one.
on that ride,
That one.
right? Greatest list ever, right there. I did it. It's done.